Live from Al Worthington's used ornithopter center, it's the Geek Show.
On today's show, I have a lot of rebel friends that are now turning to the Empire. Oh, wait, that's not a true statement. I don't have a lot of friends, except for these guys here. So, rebel friends. Let's start the show. That are now... All right. Hi, everyone.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Everyone okay?
Feels earlier than it actually is.
The sky is blue.
It's lovely outside, a little chilly, but
Outside?
and the time part, you may have heard of that daylight saving thing that happened.
I hate it so much. Every
save
year.
the daylight?
Twice.
I have a report about the daylight that we have saved. We've been keeping it in a warehouse out in the West Desert, and unfortunately there was a leak.
Oh,
And so it's going to be daylight for 3 days. I just got that report. The sun will not go down for 3 days because of all the daylight that we have saved.
I have
So
one thing
Annie
to
was
say.
wrong. The sun will not come out tomorrow.
No.
It'll
All
just
those
be there.
people besmirching our friends in Mexico. The majority of Mexico did away with daylight savings times not too long ago. Mm-hmm. They're doing great. They're thriving.
smart.
They're not confused. They're not late to meetings the day after.
He's not
week
late
after.
to meetings the day after. He's Nigel Soupsworth. No, he's Lee George Cade, everybody.
Oh yeah, I'm late to so many meetings. I should look at my calendar. Is what Rebecca's been saying that for years. I'm like, whatever, Rebecca, you kids and your newfangled things. Turns out they've been around for millennia.
Clocks?
New fangled time trackers.
Yeah.
Sundials?
She's against those darn time trackers. She's
Oh, she's
Rebecca
all for
Frost.
'em.
Oh, she's all for them. Oh, okay.
The thing about daylight savings is it makes me like I'm so tired, but I'm also like so much more productive now. Like just getting a lot of stuff done because
Really?
there's more daylight in the day.
It makes that much difference, huh?
Yeah, I still hate it.
Don't tell our politicians I want them to get rid of it.
I'd say the only of the five of us here, the only person who actually maybe ever benefited from daylight savings is Carrie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you had to get up and milk the cows.
Yeah. Back in the day.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about those days maybe on the after party. Don't tell the politicians about it because he wants to get rid of it. He's Quad T.
That's right. I
Too
don't
tall
care.
Tony.
I don't care if we stick with the fall one or the spring forward. Just stick with one. I don't care which
go
one.
to-
Just
get
pick
'em.
one.
Go to
Just pick
Arizona. They
Yeah.
don't got it.
I might,
They got rid of it.
I might just move to Arizona.
Yeah.
Don't
But-
do that.
I won't actually. Yeah. I don't
Why
think
would
that'd
you
be good.
move to a place where the land is trying to kill you? That's all.
Once-
Like
once-
Australia?
When I lived in New York, I flew back to Arizona for a wedding, but it was over daylight savings, and so like I had no idea what time it was.
In 1992, I went to Phoenix, Arizona for the second Lollapalooza show, and it was September 30th,
Oh.
and it was 119 degrees.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And our director, Rob. Hi. Why does it
Okay,
say
I'll
director in
check
your...
in a second.
Yeah, what are you directing?
Yeah, forgot the
There we go. That
Oh.
director of Shield.
Oh, director of S.H.I.E.L.D. Oh,
He's got the shirt and everything.
Oh, and
okay.
our host, Mr. Kerry Jackson.
Oh, hi. Monday through Friday, 6 to 10, x96.com. All right.
I want to entice people for the after party.
Yes.
I'm insisting on putting it out here right now. They
Okay.
released 2 minutes of footage from new X-Men '97.
Better believe I
We're-
watched that.
We're gonna watch it.
We
on
are?
the after
Oh,
party.
good.
And
I haven't
let's
seen it
just
yet,
say
so
it gave me the good feelings.
the good feelings,
Yes.
the warm and...
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
the
Like
nipple-rubbing
I
feelings.
seriously, I had to get a lotion for my nipples.
Ooh,
They got too
all right.
raw.
Very exciting. Well, I don't know if the 2 minutes of each one of these trailers is enough to make you do that. I don't know. I don't know where everybody stands on these, but we got our first look at The Crow in trailer form this week,
Ah.
and I'm not sure how I feel about it.
I don't care.
You don't care?
Good
I
for
ha-
fans.
so
Good for
I
fans.
I haven't seen the first one, and I have no idea what it's about. And so I watched this trailer, and I still don't know what this movie's about.
It's like watching an A24 trailer.
Yeah. If I still had my copy of the of the graphic novel, I'd loan it to you and let you read it, but I don't. Yeah, Bill Skarsgård centers on a man who is murdered alongside his fiancée, but is granted supernatural powers to seek revenge. There's quite a few very cool stunts in this. It's clear he's not, invincible. He can be hurt when he's in his scary crow form or whatever it is you want to call it.
His scary crow form. There was a cool scene where he gets stabbed with a sword through the back, but then he just takes his gun and shoots it through himself to the guy stabbing him.
The guy behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
That's a Wolverine move right there.
Yeah.
It is.
So that was I get the feeling that that's kind of what they're going for with this form of the Crow. And honestly, I saw the original Crow all those years ago when it was released in theaters, and I don't remember exactly what his powers are. I have to admit.
And he has all the powers of a
Being scary.
crow.
Come on.
Does he have like vampire powers? That was kind
No,
of the vibe I got.
Crows have object permanence. Like crows are one of the few animals, aside from humans, that can actually recognize that their reflection is them and not some other crow. That's a pretty significant power.
That
for
is a
an
pretty
animal.
good power.
Yeah, but I already have
that's-
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it kind of sucks to be him, doesn't
are
it?
His other powers that he likes shiny objects.
Yeah, and he can bond with people who leave him gifts, and he'll bring them gifts in return.
And
That's
he
You
still
don't have
me.
to. You don't
He
have
brings her
to.
bullets.
and he can stack cups in different
Yeah, yeah.
different size cups.
See, I always just got the vibe that he just didn't really feel pain. That was I didn't
no.
even, get much other than
The
that.
pain he
from-
feels is emotional. Otherwise, why would he be seeking
He
revenge?
can
Clearly,
also confound
clearly.
people between what a crow is and what a raven is, but
That's
that's
true.
not his
It's
fault. That's
very
just us
confusing.
being dumb about birds.
Very
So
confusing.
I've got to ask, for those of you who have seen the original or any of the sequels and the TV show,
yeah.
Sequels and a TV show.
Oh yeah.
there was a TV show like
An
back in the early
animated
syndication
series.
days.
I've got a
Mark
list here.
Dacascos, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll let Gary do the list.
Oh,
'cause
okay. Here's the
there's a
list.
lot.
Began as a comic book. James O'Barr, 1989, grew into the film with the late Brandon Lee, who died in an on-set accident during filming. Multiple sequels followed, including The Crow City of Angels, The Crow Salvation, The Crow Wicked Prayer, and the TV series. One of those Crow sequels was shot here in Salt Lake.
Crow the Breakfast
Sure.
Experience.
Crow
That
the
was at
Quickening.
Denny's.
It was a good one.
Yeah.
Anyway, what were you saying there, Rob?
I was just saying Crow the Quickening. No, but I mean the TV show. I remember
Wait a minute.
when that was like early 2000s, very late 90s, and it wasn't the best, but it was what we had at the time because that was around the same time we had the Highlander TV series.
Exactly.
And you just kind of took it and was like, just give it to me. I'll take it. This is great.
Oh, we got an expert in the audience there. Carl Clark, Wicked Prayer was the
Wicked
one
Prayer
that
was
was
shot
here.
there.
Thank you.
I knew one
Carl.
of them was. I do know that the original Crow movie has one of the best soundtracks out
Yep.
there. Great
Yep.
music in that one. Anyway, so if you enjoy The Crow, enjoy the trailer. You'll
Oh,
probably
and I got a correction. They didn't have a breakfast experience for the Crow at Denny's. That was the Highlander. They had the Moons Over My Kurgan breakfast. And,
Ooh.
I'm too tired for these puns today.
Don't need to bring your frozen mocha.
This daylight savings.
But
I
we saved
sleep
the
like
daylights.
15 hours a day,
Is
and
that-
this is all I look forward to all week.
Is that next to the one on the menu where you order a Spanish breakfast, but you end up getting a Scottish breakfast, and
Oh.
you never know.
It is exactly the same.
Out
Yes.
damned spot, etc., etc.
Sorry,
All right.
I'm giving 100 points to Brett. There can only be one pancake.
That's right.
Golly.
Thank you, Brett. The next trailer we got, I don't know how you feel about this. It was a
Ew.
trailer for The First Omen.
The hand's too
damp.
big.
Yeah, damp.
The
yeah.
baby's too small.
Hey, it's squishy.
Moist.
So here's the description, the plot synopsis. When a young American woman is sent to Rome to begin a life of service to the church. Thank you. Bowie reference, I'll take
If
it.
you want to.
Oh, B-52's reference I'll take as well.
Yeah.
She encounters a darkness that causes her to question her own faith and uncovers a terrifying conspiracy that hopes to bring about the birth of evil incarnate.
I just don't like the new Squishmallows. That's gross.
So this is how Damien was born, I'm guessing. Yeah.
Rebecca has some thoughts here.
Listen, there's a lot of nuns in the trailer, so that's scary to some of you.
It's a big year for nuns. There are a
It's
lot of
erotic
nun
for some
movies
of
coming
us.
out.
But are they doing a remake of The Flying Nun? That's my question.
Someday. That would be badass.
Wouldn't it be great if
just
one of the
saying.
nuns just took off and flew away? She's like, oh no, that's obviously the Omen, Damien himself.
Oh, actually, if you want a movie about a flying nun, watch Oscar-nominated El Conde. It's on Netflix. It was nominated for Best Cinematography, but it is about vampires and
Yeah.
very cool.
But that's not wholesome. Like Sally Field is The Flying Nun.
Oh,
Sister-
she was
Sister
adorable.
Bernadette
Sister Betrill.
Patril. Thank you.
Thank you. Had to reach way down deep for that.
Yeah,
one.
you
Thank you.
pulled
Thank you for
that
the
out
pickup.
of
I
there.
appreciate it.
I've forgotten my father's birthday, but I remember Sister Betrill. Anyway, so go watch the trailer if you're a fan of The Omen.
I
Or
think this is
nuns.
wildly unnecessary.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, come on, let's do a new
We
thing.
the people don't want original content. We want things that are sequels.
That's
we
right.
want things
Okay.
that are prequels. We want things that are reboots.
I
Spin-offs.
don't have a
Let's-
problem with that sometimes.
But no, let's talk about that just briefly, because there was an article this week that I saw, and I nearly brought it to the table, where they asked, what was it, Gen Z and millennials? What do you want? And they said, we want original stuff. We don't want reboots or sequels. To which I say, where were you all when the creator was in the theater?
Oh, yeah.
Where were you all? All of this original stuff that gets put out, and it
where was
fails.
everybody during
Okay.
Pacific Rim? Which,
Pacific
which,
Rim.
Well, okay,
which came in
but also-
dismally after Grown Ups.
Okay, Pacific Rim came out quite a bit before Gen Z was able to go spend money at the movie theater.
Point.
But also, let's consider cost of living, and it's kind of expensive to leave your house. You cannot leave your house without spending $40, right? So you kind of have to pick and choose where you do spend your money. And so far, everybody's like,
Well-
I can't spend $40 on Dune. Right, but can't necessarily go out and just spend money on something like The Creator that, one, we don't even know what it's about.
Yeah.
And two, they heard you hated it, so they didn't go.
They
Known
did hear
quantities.
that I hated it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read that article, and I'm like, where were you when all of these original things came out?
But also,
Nobody showed up. You know?
There's a lot of stuff to consider too. People don't like going to the movies because on days that aren't Thursdays are when I go, and that's when everybody is very respectful. Everybody seems to have a miserable time at the movie theaters in general, right?
Thursdays are respectful days.
I'm telling
Don't
you, Thursdays when
go.
all the respectful people go.
Unless you're going to be respectful.
I have such a notoriously bad time at movie theaters. Usually the manager's waiting there with my comp tickets for the next movie I'm
Did
going to.
you
Anyway.
guys? If you want to hear how bad the movie theater going experience has gotten, I would like to point you in the direction of the premiere of Love Lies Bleeding. I can't remember what theater it was, but there was a
flower species too. Don't plant them.
but Love Lies Bleeding. There was a man who decided to openly jerk off in the middle of the movie.
What now?
And he was so drunk that he fell asleep with his ding dong still in his hand. And the managers apparently handled it very well. Everybody got free passes.
They did what now?
They used rubber gloves.
They handled
I would have just thrown a blanket over him and left him, I think.
It's like
I'm not touching anything.
sorry, Mr. Rubens, this way.
Yes. Thank you. Again. All right, so go watch the Omen trailer if you want. Anyway, let's do some housekeeping really quick here. Of course, Lee George Cade, who just keeps having more and more problems pop up.
Yeah, could you not?
It's part of the recovery process, right?
Look, I mean, it's true. An umbilical hernia does pop up. It's like,
I just love that your kids have a name for it. You're Mr. If it's not one thing, it's another.
yeah,
It's just, yeah.
yeah. They're
for
like,
some
poke him
reason-
with the stick. Is he alive? Okay, what's wrong with him?
Yeah, and suddenly his knee stopped working. I just,
Yeah.
I shouldn't be laughing, but it's so strange.
It's a serious compounded pancreatic disease. It does weird things to the body. Also, I do speak fluent French now, which is odd.
Oh, well, so there's
Can
some
we hear
benefits.
some?
Yeah, but I wanted a cooler language.
Oh,
Klingon
Yeah,
or
but can we hear?
Dothraki.
Can we
Take
hear
that,
some?
France.
Well, no,
that
it's
fruit.
selective. It only comes up in times of stress.
Take that, France. Anyway, so you can help out the Cade family with all the medical bills that are are piling up. If you would give what you can. If it's $5, terrific. We appreciate all of it. Scan the QR code there. It goes directly to Lee George Cade's Venmo. No middleman. All the money goes directly to Lee and his medical bills. Also, geekshow.store is the website to go and buy our merch. More and more merch being seen in the wild and in exotic foreign lands, and I think
hear
it's
that
awesome.
fashion doll tee is going away soon.
That's what I keep trying to make.
So it's coming up soon.
No, is it there?
Yeah, it's there.
It's still. Oh, okay. I thought
Pink one,
some-
Carrie.
It'll disappear when you least expect it.
I thought somebody made the call, but I guess not. Anyway, so there you go. Also, our Patreon Geek Show got this covered. Is the
at
link
that
to our
chicken.
Patreon.
Guy
You
thinks
get-
he's cock of the walk.
You get the after party there. You get the Space Show early, and you also this week you're getting a video. I've got a couple of videos that are coming over the next couple of weeks. One of them featuring the most expensive napkin dispenser you'll ever see,
Good God.
and For the Love of Jawas, all coming up.
Wow.
I show you
Carrie,
some.
are you gonna tell the super sad tearjerker your mom got you a Jawa story?
Oh, I already told that story with the Star Wars action figure. You can go back and watch it. They're all there.
Okay.
Go with the Star Wars action figure story.
Yeah.
And but this is just For the Love of Jawas. I love them dearly, and that video is coming.
And if
All
your
right.
surgery perverts really ask for it, I'll put up surgery pictures.
Wow. No, thank you.
Yeah, no, they're gross. I don't want to look at them either.
Okay. Anyway, so Geek Show, geekshowgotthiscovered.com for our Patreon. Here we go. Let's continue. Now, this was a big story. It's a little vague, but you DC nerds, I think, are going to totally love this. The Teen Titans live-action movie is a go at DC Studios.
Wow.
Did you
So
just make a Teen Titans Go reference?
He
Thank you.
I
did.
certainly
appreciate
did.
that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's good.
So Ann Noguera, who you see there, she wrote the Supergirl movie that they're making. And I think James Gunn went, you know what? I think you need to do some more stuff for us because what I see what I like it. And so they've turned it over to her to write a Teen Titans movie. So my question is I'm guessing this is going to be down the road a ways because we need to establish our main heroes first, right? Before we get to their
Do we?
siblings, or do we?
It didn't sound like
Several
Gods
of-
and Monsters is doing
he's
that.
also doing that one weird group of creatures,
Creature
right?
Commandos.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Creature Commandos, yeah.
And that's
But, I
coming
mean,
out the
he-
gate like first.
Yeah, that.
So-
I mean, they're doing the Wonder Woman series that's not Wonder Woman, Paradise Lost.
Yeah, which is
there's-
the Themyscira, right?
Yeah.
It's like a Themyscira before Diana was formed. You are getting Superman Legacy, but it's not an origin story.
So what
Probably.
if they
So-
actually hit the ground
what if
running,
it's a different
saying that
company?
that these heroes are already established? Like if you hit a Titans movie right out of the
In
gate,
media
then-
res.
Well,
yeah, then
And,
you can
sure.
flat out say
Sure.
he's the ex-Robin. We already know who Robin is. We don't need.
plus, if you look at this picture, only 3 of them are related to older superheroes. Starfire's her own thing, Raven's her own thing, Cyborg's his own thing, Beast Boy's his own thing.
Oh wait! Peace Boy, Doom Patrol.
Doom
Yeah.
Patrol, that's right. So there's that going on.
Oh wait a minute! And Cyborg was in the Justice League in the Super Friends. No, Super
Late
Powers
70s,
team.
early
I'm
80s?
sorry, Super
Early
Powers
80s.
team, Galactic Guardians.
And of course, Egg Foo says, "I'll laugh if we get this before Young Avengers."
It's
may-
gonna. Oh, you know what though? He brings up a good point. I'm starting to feel it in my bones. We're gonna see the pivot of DC starting to be better than Marvel properties.
Oh, please. Don't tease me. Come on.
Don't get
now.
his hopes up.
Hey.
Do not get this man's hopes up.
I would seriously, I would lose my mind if both studios just put out quality stuff.
Wouldn't that be
yes.
great?
Yeah,
One
it
or
would be
2
terrific.
movies a year
We all
from
win.
each studio,
Yeah.
maybe some
Yeah.
streaming stuff.
Yeah.
And that's all we need. We don't need 5 Marvel movies a year. We don't need 5 DC movies a year. 1 or 2 good ones.
That's true. All right,
That's what I've been saying about this show. 1 good episode a year, we'd be perfect.
that's all we need.
We're still
all
working
we gotta
toward
do.
that. It's rough.
Someday.
Well, and speaking of DC and James Gunn, he had a couple of statements that he made today, on his social medias. He will be quite honest with you. A fan on Threads said, ask him some questions, and James Gunn confirmed that the first season of Peacemaker is no longer canon
Oh, really?
within
Of this whole
within
thing
this
that
new
you just
DCU. Yeah,
This whole thing that you just said, the thing I'm the most disappointed in is the fact that James Gunn is using Threads.
I know, right? Somebody's there, I guess.
There's a few people.
So yeah,
They
I don't know.
They tried to trick me into going onto a thread yesterday, and I was like, not today, Satan.
I don't know what this says about the new DC movie universe. DCMU? Do we call it? I don't know.
DCEU, I think is. I
No,
don't know
that
what
was
it's
the old
been
one.
colloquially known as.
But I know
He
he
called me
wants.
the DCU.
I know he wants to
DCU.
bring Peacemaker into it. So, but the first season
So-
won't be canon.
Here's a great. Okay. So this is what they should have done with the Phantom Menace. It would have made this perfect. If they do, if season 1 is no longer canon, it was all in Peacemaker's head. He dreamed the whole thing, and he wakes up, and then you get the new series, and you're done. It's the easiest way to do it, because this way it was just like his fantasy of being, on a team and getting things done his way, and then
Oh, I hate
Click
that,
in.
though. I hate when things are just a dream.
Or you could really, really, really mess with people and do a Deathstroke movie where Deathstroke gets pulled into the multiverse and has to fix everything.
So my question
Wait a
for
minute.
so my question
God
for
bless you, Lee.
my question for James Gunn is his Suicide Squad movie canon?
It has to be.
I don't
Did you
know.
guys see John
Oh.
Cena at the Oscars?
Yes.
No,
we
you
saw a
can't-
lot
you
of
can't see
John
it.
Cena at the Oscars.
Yeah. All right. Rebecca shiny keysed me into the next topic. Let's see. He also
Is John
confirmed
Cena at the Oscars?
Naked John Cena.
James Gunn also confirmed the Amanda Waller spin-off series is still happening. He says it was from his wife, actually, Jen Holland, saying, "We start filming this summer. Very exciting." John Cena talked about it on a radio show. He says, "I've written the episodes, but in the interest of getting the show out there, I won't be able to direct them. This is a series. The Waller series is still happening. They're hard at work on writing great stuff." So that's continuing.
Such a great character.
Indeed.
Like the
We
best
handle
villain
properly,
in
'cause-
DC.
Because right now, I'm very on the fence whether like in Titans and something I'll talk about during what we consumed. Mid.
Okay. Let's see. And then in we're still doing this project news, Patty Jenkins surfaced and said, "Oh, no, I'm still working on Rogue Squadron."
I'll believe it when I'm in the seat watching the
Yeah.
movie.
There hasn't been a retraction published.
Yeah.
There hasn't been a no. Patty got loose. She wasn't supposed to say that.
No, we got to herd our Patty Jenkins. But yeah, she was on a podcast and she says, "I'm now back on doing Rogue Squadron. We'll see what happens. We need to develop it and get it where we're both super happy with it."
I'm sorry. There's a part of me that wants her to go through this and go, "Oh, Rogue! I thought it was an X-Men movie."
Yeah, it's
It's
Rogue and her friends, and they
Yeah.
fly together. I think
Yeah.
she got unfairly maligned for Wonder Woman 84.
Totally.
A lot of what's wrong with that movie is in the edit.
Yeah, a
the
lot of
action-
that movie isn't her fault.
No. There's a lot of
How do we know that though?
because it feels like studio interference. The motion picture, it really does, and
Follow your heart, Tony.
there's a lot of hard right turns that happen for absolutely no reason, and she's
Yeah.
a smarter director than that. So
Well,
Like,
And-
I personally don't think Patty Jenkins was responsible for the way Kirsten Wiig looked in that movie.
no.
Oh, now.
Carrie, like
as
that.
cat, what?
Calm
As
down
the
now.
cat lady?
Because
You
I
like
love
that, Carrie?
I love Kristen Wiig in anything she does, and I even liked her at this.
Yeah,
but-
but as the cat lady?
Even as the cat lady, I enjoyed her. But you want to see some really hot Kristen Wiig photos?
Don't
the
kink shame
Hollywood
Frost.
Reporter right now has a whole gallery.
Oh, yeah. Because she did it. She was like the cover story this week or something.
Yeah, she was doing very sexy Kristen Wiig. So
There's some very capable directors who've released some pretty stinky movies, and she's made a couple really good movies, and she's had a stinker come out, and I think her Rogue Squadron could be really exciting, especially if it's a Wedge Antilles Rogue Squadron story.
I'd love to see
Could
it.
you imagine?
I want to see it. I do. I want to see this movie.
Did you ever read the old Rogue Squadron comics, Rebecca?
Yeah.
It's like Jason Bourne style hijinks, a little bit of a sense of it's like Ocean's 11, Jason Bourne, and X-wings.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah,
I read one of the books, two of the books. Yeah, there's some books as well, novels. Let's see, Doctor Who. It's the next season of Doctor Who is coming. They
so
swear.
excited. He's so good.
I had a really hard time trying to
good.
like pick a photo for this.
Oh,
'cause,
I like
You
that
picked
one
a
though.
damn fine photo.
Yeah,
Because-
that's cool.
well, that's the problem is they were all damn fine.
The next season of Doctor Who is coming, and it's coming at the exact same time across the globe, which is a different way of doing things. Today, the BBC confirmed that Doctor Who's new season, starring Kuti Gatwa, is that how you say it? The 15th
Ncuti Gatwa.
Doctor. Ncuti Gatwa, thank you. And Millie Gibson as Ruby Sunday, which the BBC is still trying to call season 1, which...
It's supposed to be
Well,
a new.
others have been called
Anyway.
series.
All
So
right.
they're going back to
They
seasons
don't-
like
We lost
The
the plot
original
trying
series.
to number these Doctor Who series like
There's
a
also
long time ago.
decades ago.
the first Doctor to spend 20 minutes in his tiny whities.
So it'll be May 10th, or more specifically, midnight in the UK on May 11th.
oh good lord.
In a first for the new season will debut with a 2-episode premiere. So that is a change from the way Doctor Who is usually broadcast in its home nation. So there you go. But you
It'll
can watch
weed
it
out-
on.
That'll weed out the true fans from the non-true
chaff.
fans. The
It's
chaff.
so hard. The last 2 Doctors got shafted so badly, and it's like, yeah, I get it. Tennant's awesome. Matt Smith was awesome, but I also think Jodie Whittaker was fantastic.
She
and
was.
Peter Capaldi.
Capaldi was amazing because there's a bit where
Yeah.
he's sitting there playing a Clash tune on a guitar in the middle of a castle, and
Yeah.
it's like, he's insane, and I love it. And they got trashed, and I feel
Yeah,
bad
I feel like
for them.
they had good actors and good characters, but they just couldn't build awesome stories around them for some reason.
We're going through them right now. The stories it's typical Doctor Who. I mean, for every good episode, you're still going to get Agatha Christie and the bees.
Yeah.
And,
I mean,
it's just gonna
looking
happen.
at Doctor Who from the Christopher Eccleston Doctor forward, when Russell T Davies was the showrunner, he had pretty consistently solid stories all the way through his run. I mean, sure you had some stinkers, but you had a lot of really good stuff. Stephen Moffat, his first 2 seasons as showrunner, pretty tight when he because he was most of Tennant's run and I believe all of Smith's run. After that, when the guy Chris Chibnall took over as showrunner, the quality for me just took a nosedive. Like it was
Agreed.
just hard to watch a lot of the stuff that they did because it was just like lazy writing.
I didn't like the companions. That was the biggest problem for me, is that I didn't click with any of the companions. And when you
Yeah.
have a strong companion, the Doctor works really well. But when you're kind of floundering with your companions, it just, I don't know.
If you look
Why
in
don't
the
you like families?
I
if
love
you
a
look
family.
if you look in the chat room, someone named Rebecca Frost is commenting. Capaldi and Tennant are led for my faves.
Yeah.
Do we know this person?
I don't know who that is.
Oh.
And I think the other
Wasn't she up for
problem that-
Dazzler or Carol Danvers once?
Something like that, I think.
I
Yeah.
think the other thing that hobbled Capaldi is they didn't know what the hell they were doing with Clara the first season. They were just
Oh,
like,
poor
oh,
Clara got the shaft.
Big
Yeah.
time.
yeah,
Big time.
A potentially cool character, good actress, and they're just
Yeah.
like, we don't know what to do.
So Rebecca, have you seen the Christmas specials with the last 4 Doctor Who episodes?
Oh yeah, you betcha.
Just checking. I was like, how could
yeah.
you not like Ncuti Gatwa? I mean,
No, I
even
no, I
he's
love
got one
love
episode.
him.
I'm just kind of like,
Yeah. I'm
this
excited
this
to see
doctor,
it.
I'm so excited for this doctor because he seems to be a doctor without baggage, right? Like I feel like they were able to bring back Tennant and essentially heal your inner child, right? And
Yeah.
send away with, the old doctor all of the emotional baggage that he's been carrying for centuries and centuries. And now I feel like Ncuti's going to be a doctor who is fun, right? And free
swashbuckler.
oh
and
my
like
god,
free
he's
of
going to be the new
emotional
Tom
baggage.
Baker.
He feels like a swashbuckler to me. Like he's got that Errol Flynn tally ho thing going on, and I
The
love
biggest complaint I had about like the new the new episodes that they released over Christmas, I think Doctor Who has too much money now.
Oh,
What?
all right.
I think they
Have
have
you
too much
watched
money
classic
and
Doctor
access
Who?
to the volume.
All right. We'll find out on May 10th when we, over here, can watch it on BBC iPlayer or Disney Plus, which is where I'll be seeing it.
Yays.
All right. Other news. Let's see. The Batman Part 2 has been delayed, which makes me kind of sad. I enjoyed this iteration of Batman quite
Is
a bit.
this not the
good.
Crow?
Wait a minute, that's the Crow.
They both
Rebecca's
fly,
right.
they
Oh
both
my
operate
God,
at
it's
night.
Jason
Nobody's seen them
Bourne.
together.
It has been delayed. It will now open in 2026, probably in October. And if you
It's a
if you
birthday
think
present.
if you think about everybody involved in this, it's gonna it's kind of hard to get them all together in the same room. So
Yeah.
they're blaming the both of the writer strikes, but we'll see what happens. But Barry Keoghan, I guess, is kind of busy these days.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they have said that this is his version of the Joker would be in Batman 2. So
When listen, I really liked the Batman movie.
yes.
When Barry Keoghan shows up at the end, I rolled my eyes so hard out of my head because do we need this guy again?
The Joker?
Do we
Yeah.
need the Joker again?
He's the ultimate Batman foil.
I
you know?
loved it. I thought anyway.
It's like
I
saying we don't need
especially-
a Lex Luthor in a Superman movie.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
I especially liked this Catwoman. I thought Zoe Kravitz was
Yeah.
great.
She
Great.
was
And-
so good.
And the despite all of my predictions, the Penguin by Colin
Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
Farrell was
Yeah.
awesome.
And
did
aren't we
you
supposed to be getting something spin-off?
We're getting the
Yeah.
series on
You get the
Max is
TV
coming
show.
soon. Yes.
see Zoe Kravitz's dig at her dad?
What happened?
That his longest lasting relationship has been with see-through shirts.
Oh, burn. Got him.
Did you
And-
see she's marrying Channing Tatum?
Is she
For
I
reals?
thought she had better taste than that.
Hey.
No, Channing Tatum he redeemed himself in Hail Caesar. during
Channing
his
Tatum's
cover.
pretty cool.
Okay.
Channing
All right.
Tatum.
But he was
Very
Duke in
cool.
G.I. Joe. Come on, how about
Oh, that's
Carrie,
right. That's right.
I didn't see this in your notes. Did you see that Alan Moore had a rebuttal to
Yes.
Zack Snyder? I didn't see that in your notes. or
I
not.
didn't have it in the notes, but you can go ahead and pass it along after we talked about it last week because Zack
Yeah.
Snyder is insisting. Well, we talked about it on the after party was the thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Zack Snyder said you have to have a Batman that can kill, otherwise I'm going to get bored. But Alan Moore had a rebuttal.
Yeah, he basically said Batman not killing is a part of his personal mythos, and I'm paraphrasing here. I will not say it as elegantly as Alan Moore did, where he basically said that not killing is the foundation of his childlike psychoses, which I
Yeah.
absolutely love because, yes, you have to talk about psychopathy if you're talking about Batman.
Yep.
He's an absolute
also-
psychopath, but
Like it makes the story so much more interesting too.
Right.
If you put Batman in a scenario where he has to kill to get out, but he still finds a way around it, right?
he's
like
the world's greatest detective. Of course he's going to
Yeah.
find a way around it. And what movie were they leaving when his parents got killed? Zorro. Zorro doesn't kill.
Yeah.
But and back to the world's greatest detective part. That's what I liked about this iteration of the Batman
Yeah.
is he spent a lot of time just doing detective work, and that
Yeah.
was a complaint that a
so
lot of
good.
people had. But I thought it was
good.
great.
I loved it. I loved
Did
it.
Alan Moore go back to talking to the wizards in his beard after he wrote that quote?
And
Yes, he
they're gremlins.
Oh.
The wizards live in his mind palace. The
Right.
beard is
Oh,
actually.
Speaking of wizards, I know we can't talk about other podcasts, but there's a podcast, Hello from the Magic Tavern, that struck a deal with Sam Rockwell's animation studio, where they're going to be developing a cartoon based around Hello from the Magic Tavern. If you happen to also listen to that podcast,
Green Boy is right. I think it was Grant Morrison, not Alan Moore, was it?
Same guy.
It's definitely not the same guy. One of them has a
Same
beard and the other one
guy.
doesn't.
one of them can draw feetsies.
That's true. All right.
Rob
Next,
Liefeld?
yeah, Rob Liefeld. Next bit of news: Venom 3 has a release date and a title.
Wait a minute. What is this from? Because I don't think I've seen
This
This
is
is from
Venom
Venom
2.
2, where they established
Okay.
Venom as an LGBTQ icon.
That's true.
Yeah.
Did you not
my
see it,
stars.
Rob?
They sure
no.
workshopped that.
Oh yeah.
Rob,
Oh,
it's
my
literally
stars.
an hour of your life.
It is a stinker of a movie with one good mic drop.
Yeah. It is going to be called Venom: The Last Dance, and it will be
Channing Tatum gonna show up as well.
maybe.
If we're lucky.
It'll be in theaters October 25th, just in time for Halloween. So there you go.
If you like a movie where one of the actors is in a completely different movie than everybody else, then
Yes.
Venom 2 is totally worth it because Woody Harrelson showed up for something else.
If you like watching Woody Harrelson give half of his all while also wearing a terrible Ronald McDonald wig
Oh, that
Yeah.
wig.
for only an hour, this movie's for you.
Woody Harrelson showed up for Space Jam 3.
Yes.
And yeah, and thank you for the correction. It was Grant Morrison. I get those two confused, even though I know they're wildly different people.
Rob, Venom 2 is a shit show, but not in the way that like Morbius is a shit show. All right.
It's its own thing, yeah, for sure.
How many
Listen,
kinds of shit does
I
Sony
didn't
have? Oh my
regret
God.
watching it. I didn't regret watching Venom 2.
See?
But
That's the perfect review right there. I didn't regret watching it, but it was terrible.
let me agree with Rebecca's review of that and add to it, and I won't go back.
Yeah, you don't need to visit it again.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Carl. Venom 2, Madam Web. Go.
Madam Web is just objectively like a bad film. Like it is just a poorly made film.
Venom
At
2, they
least
knew
Venom-
what they were making.
And at least the ADR matches up, right?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, they fully
right.
knew what they were making
All
with
right.
Venom 2. All I know is like my outrageously gay kid who watched the first Venom movie a billion times because it was so hysterically bad, watched Venom 2 once.
Really?
And got to the mic drop part and went, eye roll.
Also,
you know?
you have to
Wow.
watch Venom 2 in order to understand the end credits scene from Spider-Man No Way Home.
And
What,
thank
the-
you for
The
the
bar
segue.
scene?
Thank you for the segue. That's Rebecca. She's a professional. The
job.
Spider-Man movies are being re-released in theaters in Cinemark
I will be
theaters.
seated.
Starting with the first Spider-Man from Sam Raimi, that'll be April 15th,
Good movie.
followed by the
Get over your
sequels
taxes.
on April 22nd and the 29th, respectively. They will be followed by Andrew Garfield's Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, May 6th and May 13th.
I forgot
And then
there
the-
was a second one.
Yeah, and then the three Tom Holland-led ones, Homecoming May 20th, Far From Home the 27th, and No Way Home the 3rd.
So
I'm going to have a great birthday week, you guys.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2 is in my blood. The
is such a
Spider-Man
good
2
movie.
soundtrack got me
Fantastic.
through junior high.
Oh,
Okay.
it's so good.
it's so good.
Oh, God, I'm
so,
old.
so is this Sony just saying, well, we can't make
We
any
need the
new
money.
Spider-Man stuff now, so let's just re-release the old Spider-Man stuff.
We need to make money on Spider-Man somehow. Yes, exactly. But A24 is also doing it with their horror movies coming up here in the next month or so.
Uncut Gems in IMAX. Who is coming with me?
I can't. My butt cheeks can't clinch for that long in that large of a format. I can't do it.
I guess it's just their horror movies. I don't know if it's Uncut
Well,
Gems.
no.
Uncut
So-
Gems
so
should
they're
be considered
so-
a horror movie.
So they're doing Ex Machina, Hereditary, and Uncut Gems all in IMAX.
No.
Such choices.
No.
Absolutely insane
No.
choices. Hereditary on IMAX. I can't even fathom the
I
idea.
don't even want to think about that. Yeah.
I can't,
But
I
Uncut
can't
Gems,
see Ex Machina
don't
again.
you want to see Adam Sandler's colon on the world's biggest screen?
I mean,
No.
kind of, but
Ex Machina is the scariest movie I've ever seen.
Ex Machina.
I'm
Alex,
watching it in
Alex
an
Garland
airplane.
is on thin ice. So reviews for Civil War have been coming out at South by Southwest.
Yes.
Pretty 50-50. Some people are like, this movie is pretty dope, and then some other reviewers are like, it's such an empty movie.
Here's the thing about Civil War is that the same reason that John Hamm scared the shit out of me in that Fargo series is the same reason that I won't be going to see this movie in theaters, because it's going to scare the shit out of me, because it could happen.
Too close to real.
For the same
it's-
reason that
yep.
the end of the Batman scared the shit out of me, it
That's
could
why
happen.
Ex Machina scares me.
Exactly.
Yeah, I saw
So-
the trailer for Civil
supposed to
War,
be
and I was just like, I don't know if
Yeah.
I want to see that.
Yeah.
Apparently,
yeah.
apparently, you're supposed to go in as blind as possible because it's actually quite nothing like the trailers, is what
Oh.
I'm seeing.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And then who read 8 Billion Genies? I know one of us did.
I did.
read the
I
first
did. I
issue.
did.
Yeah, that's right. So this is it's going to be a movie.
Yay!
How interesting. I think this would be better as a series, honestly.
I think so too. But they're doing adapted to the screen by Into the Spider-Verse co-director Rodney Rothman. It is Seth Rogen and Point Grey Pictures going to produce.
So is it going to be animated?
According to this, it's live action. Let me see.
Because you say Seth Rogen, and then also like the writer for Spider-Verse.
Yeah, those
Makes me
guys are
think
Both
into
animated properties, yeah.
animation
Because
stuff.
this 8 Billion Genies would be awesome animated.
Maybe it is animated. It does not specify here in my story. It
Why
just
not
talks,
both?
you know, it
Why
just
not
talks about they're making it into a movie. I'm betting animation then.
Because this would be great as like an animated series, like an animated limited series. I think it could be really good.
I think
Adapted
you just
to,
got to how you could actually do Saga. As Saga, if it was done as an animated series, would be perfect.
yes.
Oh yeah,
In a
Oh,
heavy metal
man.
style, that would be
Or,
great.
or in
Oh
Fiona
my
Apple's
God!
art
Could you
style. Yeah.
imagine?
There are some. This is the story concerns a cosmic event in which every person on the face of the planet gets one wish. Though there are some caveats as to what wishes they may cast. The story soon takes a post-apocalyptic turn as battling factions aim to scoop up everyone else's wishes. Now that I read that, I think I want a live action.
There's just so much that happens in the comic that would make more sense animated.
I'll have to read
Not
the
that
comic.
you can't do
yeah.
it with like CGI, but
Right.
I'll have to
It
read the
depends on
comic.
who's doing the animation.
yeah.
All right. Now, speaking of animation, because the X-Men '97 series is coming out.
baby.
It's this week. It drops on Wednesday, I believe. This was and it's still a mystery. We don't know what's going on. One of the creators, Bo DiMaio, was fired weeks before the premiere because they held
And,
the
like,
premiere at a theater.
Like his social media gone, his email within the company deactivated. Like, what happened?
It's like a
over
hard
there?
cut right there.
This guy
There's some NDAs going on right here.
Probably.
Yeah.
This guy's been involved in Marvel for quite some time. He wrote on Moon Knight, the series, as well as drafts of the Blade movie. He had
Maybe that's why.
maybe he had completed writing duties on season 2 of X-Men '97. Was lining up press, making plans to attend the show's premiere. He was even discussing loose ideas for a third season with members of his team. Everything was going forward, but early last week, Marvel and DiMaio parted ways. And no reason for the firing is given. Marvel's not talking. He's not talking, so we don't
I
know.
would be, if I were him, I'd be really sad for missing out on that premiere because they did it at the El Capitan. Mm-hmm. And the pre-press coming out of that is just mind-boggling. Like, people really freaking loved what they saw. And not all of it was people going, oh, I feel nostalgic. This is good. It's like...
And speaking of the original series versus this new series, this whole morph controversy,
Yeah.
one of the original people who worked on the original series released a statement on social media basically saying, to all you people who have a problem with this new morph, did the old series teach you nothing?
Yeah.
And I
just weren't really paying attention.
Friends
Also,
of Humanity, you know,
just finished
all of
my
that
watch through.
stuff.
Just finished my watch through of the original series, and Morph is barely in it. So
Yeah.
stop clutching your pearls, and also
Exactly.
recognize your art design. That's Age of Apocalypse Morph.
Yeah.
Yeah,
new
it's a
series.
completely
So-
different
Yeah, you clowns.
version of
You
Morph.
clowns, you imbeciles, you plebeians.
Okay, so Rebecca, I have to ask: did you put the picture of DeMaio and this together? Or was that already in one piece?
Oh, I did a Google.
Okay, because the reason I started laughing when this came up was I saw this and it made me think of the Drake thing of the X-Men '97.
Oh, the
DeMaio.
Hotline Bling video.
Yeah, and I'm just like that. Those two together would have been like,
Yep.
No, I'm not that speedy. I'm just a fast Googler.
gotcha. And where is Morph in this picture, by the way?
He is not.
He is not
Also,
He was too woke, so I.
They took
didn't-
him out of
Gotcha.
the.
He also
Yeah.
took a pregnant Gene, so there's that. But also,
Are we sure that's Gene though? We
no,
had that
we're
whole
not. And
conversation.
we'll leave that controversy for now.
If they
right.
if they
But-
stick with the story, it's not Gene.
Yeah. But
Okay.
the other thing was, It's not Age of Apocalypse morph. It's Exiles. I'm sorry, it
Exiles.
is Age of Apocalypse. Exiles morph.
But yeah, he goes from Age of Apocalypse to Exiles, right?
Don't
And
tell me
then-
I'm wrong and then right in the same sentence, Rob.
You're 50-50.
Could be both.
All right. And then this remake of Salem's Lot, the Stephen King movie, it was going to be released in theaters. I think that they thought about deleting it.
Well, so here's the timeline of events as I have perceived
Okay.
them. This movie was being made and it was going to have a theatrical release, and
Yes.
then it was like you said, it was on the cutting room floor. It was doomed to be put down, so to say. And then
Yeah.
Stephen King went to Twitter and was like, because all of the Coyote versus Acme stuff was happening concurrently, and so he's like, I have Salem's Lot, it's there, it's done, it's on the shelf, and they're threatening to delete it. And then I think enough of Stephen King's fans were like, rabble, that they were like, fine, you can have it on Max, which is kind of insane that Stephen King gets his movie to go to
Yeah.
Max, but
Here's-
we can't get Coyote versus Acme.
Hey, Warner Brothers, I'll trade you a Salem's Lot for a Coyote versus Acme.
Yeah.
Straight across trade.
Well, and
One-
back in February, he tweeted, between you and me, Twitter, I've seen the new Salem's Lot, and it's quite good. This is Stephen King. Old school horror filmmaking, slow build, big payoff. Not sure why WB is holding it back. Not like it's embarrassing or anything. Who knows? I just write the fucking things.
The original Salem's Lot movie that was on TV, that Barlow was freaky, and David Soul's haircut was freaky, and
David Soul is freaky.
but there is a thing they never quite really got to. They hinted at it in the original movie. The end of the book is like vampire apocalypse, and it's like the whole world's overrun by vampires at the end, and the main character and his adopted survivor kid are basically just running around from safe house to safe house killing vampires. And I would love to see that world. I mean,
Yeah. But I would just say to WB, if you can do this with Salem's Lot, do it with Coyote versus Acme. And, better yet,
Seriously.
bring back Batgirl, because I still
Yeah.
want to see that.
Bring them both back.
And finally, this. I hope you were able to find an image for it. Thank you.
I got you.
What? What are we looking at?
This is Hong Kong's latest superhero, and he's made of poop.
Oh,
yay!
that's a poop man?
Excreman.
Oh my goodness.
He is apparently one of the most talked about productions at this year's Hong Kong Asia Film Financing Forum. The Excreman on the Road is the working title of a new production from Hong Kong's Bliss Concepts, the company that produced the McDowell franchise in the early 2000s. And it has been among the most talked about productions at the Hong Kong Asia Film Financing Forum. The story about life in the sewer and how the creatures there are fighting to survive, this is according to the producer. They create an Excreman hero to save them, but when he becomes human, he discovers life among the humans is the same as it was in the sewers.
Yeah, you're telling me it's better to be a piece of poop.
It charts, it says here, let's see, follows the tale of an extraordinary poo that's sent to the
I had an extraordinary poo once.
Yeah.
that's sent to
Who
the,
among us hasn't had an extraordinary poop?
You know, I mean, once a week if you're lucky.
And
But
I
he
had one
ta-
in October
yeah.
that put me in the hospital for 2 months.
That was
take-
extraordinary.
He takes on human form, and the producer says, we hope that this can share universal themes and make people think about how human beings always want to destroy things, even their poo.
Well, okay, so the only thing that I'm waiting for is if he's an extraordinary poo, I just want to hear him go, "Oh, bother."
Hey,
Oh, bother.
Have you also seen, we can talk more about this in the after party, but the director for Godzilla -1, he did a short advertisement for Japan where he unleashed the monster Food Lossilla. It's a brand new kaiju created for a short advertisement calling attention to the horrors of food waste.
Oh.
And you can see him right here.
Oh, look at that.
wow.
He's quite literally a giant monster made out of food waste, and there's let's see, the monster appears near Tokyo Tower in the 80-second commercial, a literal representation of the grief of 2.4 million tons of annual household food waste. And we can play the commercial in the after party because it's just
Okay.
a short, like, quick little
We'll
commercial,
watch
Waste, the
We'll
amount of
watch
food
that.
that is... Oh.
Oh, we'll watch that and the X-Men in the after party. But yeah,
The amount of food that's thrown away by every restaurant at the end of every
Oh,
shift
yes.
is
Sure,
staggering. We were
ridiculous.
a small restaurant. We were 1/100th of the volume that your average restaurant gets, and we still threw away enough food to feed 10 to 20 people, and we would be fined if we gave it away.
that's what I can't figure out.
Yeah.
Because it's the same with grocery stores. They get fined if they just give stuff away.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
you
don't
have to-
understand that.
It's mind-boggling. Like it's almost like our society is built off of intentionally keeping people poor and hungry.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
All right. What did we consume this week? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first because my list is really small. So, Christopher Guest wrote a very funny movie called Waiting for Guffman back in the 90s, and
It's so good.
it's so amazing, especially Parker Posey, who is just a genius and has been a genius forever. Her character really, really wants to create her own Blizzard at Dairy
Yes.
Queen, so I love that.
That's her dream. I love
Yeah.
that. That is her
Yeah.
dream.
That's her dream. But she does also quit her job at the DQ to go and be in the play, in the small town community theater. I watched a couple more episodes of Monarch, and I'm very confused as to how that guy is in his 90s. But I will continue to watch because it's a good show. And
All
I
will be revealed.
like monsters. Monsters are good. Very upset about Barry season 4.
What?
Really?
Upset?
Very upset.
In what way?
That it ended.
Why
Yeah.
is Barry constantly ignored during the award shows?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for real. I'm upset
It
about
should
that
not
too.
be in the same category as the bear, nor should the bear be in a comedy.
Yeah.
Bear is a drama.
The bear had to campaign in comedy because it was going up against Succession, and
Succession,
it had no
I-
chance against Succession.
Totally
Yeah,
get
but-
that, but I
yeah,
actually
yeah.
thought Succession was funnier than the bear
Sure.
because I like watching rich people do stupid things.
Yes.
Anyway, Barry
like
season
that.
4 is phenomenal. Did not see the time jump coming at all, and
Yeah.
loved it.
good.
Finished up the classic X-Men animated series of the 90s. Tony and I talked about it a little bit briefly during the week, and he's willing to die on the hill that there's more good than bad.
I will die on this hill.
I'm willing to die on the hill that there's just as much bad as good. But what they
Well-
got right, they got very right. And
That's-
if you're gonna do Dark Phoenix, you have to do it in space. It has to be weird, and it has to have the Shi'ar Empire. You can't have it climax in a train.
Shi'ar.
Shi'ar Empire. Yeah, the Shi'ar. I also started watching Poor Things, but our power went out, so we did not finish Poor Things. So
I'm not sure I
Poor
want to watch
Thing.
Poor Things.
I do want to watch. Poor
I'm watching
Things
this
'cause
for sure. We just haven't got
go.
around to it.
it
Give
is
it a
whimsical
go.
as fuck, and I'm also really, really enjoying the makeup and the choices that are being made.
Well,
Now,
it's a Frankenstein story, right? And you're all about that.
It's
I do like my
horny Barbie.
Frankenstein.
If you liked Barbie, but you wish it was a little bit hornier, watch Poor Things.
Yeah.
All right.
And then finally, Noel Fielding has a show on Apple Plus called The Completely Made Up Adventures of Dick Turpin, where he plays a dandy highwayman.
Oh, has that premiered? Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
I thought it was still coming. All right.
Oh no, it's kind of like it has that same feeling as Our Flag Means Death, but it's a little more grounded. It's all bullshit, like everything that is being done on the show. So you've got a little Baron Munchausen going on where it's like, is any of this real? Is none of this real? He gets kicked out of his butcher father's house because he doesn't want to be a butcher. He's a vegan. He was raised in a butcher's house. So he just takes his sewing machine and becomes a highwayman. And his thing is he'll knit balaclavas for people, and he makes them little outfits. And there's a guy named Moose who's in his gang who really just wants to wear a dress. So of course Dick makes him a dress so that he can feel free while he's robbing coaches. There's a supernatural element to it, and Hugh Bonneville, who you might remember from such great things as what was that? Oh, I hate it when my brain blocks out on me. That turn of the century highfalutin British rich people.
Punky Brewster.
Yes, Punky Brewster. Hugh Bonneville's in it as the thief catcher general, and even though jokes like "I will not rest until I have this dick in my hands" should not work, it worked very well for me indeed. So that's what I watched.
And it's called what again? A complicated title.
The Completely Made Up Adventures of Dick Turpin.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's
It's
what Picard goes to play in the holodeck.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
It feels like a Monty Python series from the early '80s, but not quite as funny. But that's okay.
Well,
All
it's
right.
hard to be as funny as a Monty Python series.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
All right. Who is next?
I'll go next.
Tony.
Okay, X-Men, old 90s X-Men animated series rewatch. Let me tell you.
96.
Let me tell you what I figured out about this, Lee, and I posted it in our chat, but I'll clarify out here as well. The reason I love it so much is because, like you said, what it gets good, it gets really good. But what it gets bad, it gets
really
so bad. And I love it for that because it is such cheeseball stuff that I just sit there and go,
And it's also as the mutant turns, which I love.
yes,
you know?
there's so much weird drama in there.
Yeah.
The episode when Gambit has to go back to Louisiana to, what do you call it? A parlay between the Guild of Assassins and the Guild of Thieves.
Parlay.
Turns out the Guild of Assassins leader was actually betrothed to Gambit and blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Like, oh my gosh.
It's
So-
an actual issue of the comic.
It's so hilarious. I love
Yeah.
it so much. So I'm still watching through that. Let's see. Invincible Season 2 Part 2 started up this week.
Oh, good.
Oh, baby. That first episode is sweet. Very, very good. And then, speaking of John Cena from before, check out Freelance on Hulu. It's him and Allison Brie in an
Oh, I
action
like her.
comedy. And it was actually better than I thought it would be. The first, 15 minutes, you could tell they're really trying to get the scene set, and they're trying to set up. But after that, it picks up, and it's quite funny. It's quite good.
Tony, will you watch Ricky Stenicki on Amazon Prime?
Heck yeah, I will.
I'll watch
And just
it too.
let me know.
'Kay.
Because the thing is, Ricky Stenicki, it's Zac Efron, John Cena, and it's I've heard conflicting reviews. Did you watch it, Carrie?
No, your dad didn't care for it.
Yeah. Like my mom and dad were telling me that they didn't really care for it. But there's this other podcast I listened to where they were like, "This is one of the funniest movies I've ever seen." So
I'm gonna
I
check
don't-
it out for sure.
It's
I'll
a
watch it.
Fairly brothers. So
I'll watch it this
do
week.
That with
It's
what
on
you
our
will.
list as well.
Yeah,
We've become John Cena fans somehow. Over
that's
the
the
last
thing. I'll watch.
How could you
I'll watch
not?
anything with John Cena. You know,
I didn't know who he was until
He's fulfilled the most Make-A-Wish requests. Like
Yeah.
the man is
Out
using
of
his
anyone.
powers
What a
for
mensch.
good.
Well,
What a
did
great
you
guy.
did you guys see the ones where he's teamed up with Lil Rel? Those Netflix movies where they're on vacation.
Oh,
Very funny.
Vacation Friends.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
what it's
I
called.
I watched the first Vacation Friends.
There's
First
a
one's
second
better.
one too.
First one's better than the second one, but the second one's still funny, still worth watching for sure.
Yeah, Vacation Friends.
Yeah.
That's it.
Let's see. So okay, and now sad movies. Watch a sad movie. It's called I Killed Giants on Hulu. It's based on a comic book.
I have the comic.
It is definitely not what you think it is from watching the trailer and
No
reading the
giants?
description. It's very good, but man, you'll get done with that movie and just be like, "Now I'm sad, and I don't want to do anything else but watch an episode of the regular show to make myself feel better." But it was quite good. And then I watched also, last but not least, the Norwegian Godzilla movie known as Trolls.
Oh,
Oh
yes.
yeah, man.
Came out in 2022, and it's actually quite good.
So
Oh,
you
what
need-
am I thinking of?
you're
Troll
thinking of
Hunter.
Troll Hunter.
Troll Hunter.
I'm
Yeah,
thinking of
Troll Hunter came out
Yeah,
a while
like
back.
forever
and,
ago.
and that
Yeah,
one's
yeah.
Troll
fun
Hunter-
too.
Troll Hunter is amazing.
Yeah, that one's a lot of fun too. But this one's actually like Norway decided to make a legitimate Godzilla style movie, and instead of Godzilla, you have a giant 50-meter tall mountain troll, and
It's
it
awesome.
was really good. Watch it in the original Norwegian.
Did I watch this?
I'd
movie?
say, and part of it's in English anyway, but it was quite good. Yeah, Troll.
I feel like I watched this movie. No, I'm thinking of something else.
It's
Never
on
mind.
it's on Netflix. Came out in 2022. Check it out.
Yeah, I'm thinking of a different movie.
Eggfoo says Troll Hunter was so long ago I got it from Netflix on DVD.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's Troll
seriously.
Hunter's a long old one. That's like 15 years old, 10 years old. So
All right, who's next?
Okay.
I'll go first I'll go next because
No, I'll let Rebecca go. Go ahead. I can wait.
well, you're gonna have a lot more to say than I do, Rob. So, I've been so busy. I've only got 2 recommends. Saturday Night Live from last week, Josh Brolin. One of the best episodes SNL has put out.
I gotta
this
watch
season.
it. Yeah. Oh, that's Sorry, go ahead.
I know it's this episode. It was firing on all cylinders. Loved it. And then, as part of Max's deal with A24, they released Dream Scenario this week, which is a movie starring Nicolas Cage.
Oh.
He is a tenured professor of some kind of biology who he suddenly starts appearing in everybody's dreams, and
Like the real Nicolas Cage.
hilarity ensues.
Okay, this sounds great. I'm in.
It's I didn't catch this until the credits, but it is produced by Ari Aster, so that kind of makes the movie make a lot of sense if you like Ari Aster. It's a really good. I won't spoil too much about it. Nick Cage does we tend to forget Nicolas Cage is a phenomenal actor, right? And he really showcases that in this movie.
He is a Coppola.
He is a Coppola, and this movie. We come to me after you watch it, and I'll talk about what I thought. I think it does a really good job of kind of analyzing what happens when a trend gets into the zeitgeist, and how everybody goes from loving it to hating it. Anyway, so I gave it 4 out of 5 stars on Letterboxd, but it's on Max. If you A24, if you like A24 weird movies, this one's for you.
All right. It's on Max. We'll check it out tonight.
Can I interject real quick? I saw Dune Part 2 because I was late to the party, but oh my gosh. I was able to snag XD, Cinemark XD with D-Box.
Did you do the D-Box? How
Yeah.
was the D-Box?
It's awesome. It's really awesome. If you get
Yeah.
a chance to see it that way, check it out. 10 out of 10. I just absolutely phenomenal. Fulfilled all my Dune fantasies. And
That's. I went to a wedding last weekend, and that's all that anybody was talking about.
it was just
Dune
so much.
2.
It was just fantastic.
Like,
I feel like Javier Bardem stole the movie, and I also
Hype
loved. We also got what's his name, Josh Brolin in there again, being awesome, and Gurney, and yeah, I could talk about this for hours, but point is,
Right.
Lisan Al Gaib.
my favorite comment on
Lisan
Blade Runner, or on my favorite comment on Dune 2 has been, "Oh, you thought it deviated too much from the book? Philip K. Dick's Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep would like to talk to you about Blade Runner real quick."
Exactly. Every change they made, having read. So here's why the Dune movies from
Villeneuve.
yeah, him, are so amazing in my opinion. It took a book that I didn't really care for and made it into a pair of movies that are some of my favorite movies of all time now.
Exactly.
So-
I never cared for Doctor Strange in the comic book, but I love the movies. Anyway. Was that it, Rebecca? Was that?
Yeah, that's too busy
Too
for
busy.
movies.
Too busy for anything. Rob, what about you?
So the Star Trek's for the Space Show.
Yeah.
And we finally got to yesterday's Enterprise, which was, as Lee has been pushing for the past couple of months.
Tune into
Awesome.
this week's Space Show. We got a heck of a good episode coming your way this week.
Interspersed with some episodes of Ghosts, and my wife made a realization that I did not put 2 and 2 together for. So there's a character on the show who's a Viking ghost named Thor, who
Yeah.
is played by the same character or the same actor who plays Flex Mentallo on
Yep.
Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just kind of
really?
like,
Thorfinn.
Oh.
You're
Yeah,
right.
he's the same guy.
Okay.
The man who can flex somebody to a climax.
yes.
Whoa.
That
Yeah.
guy.
Whoa.
Man,
Hey,
Doom
just
Patrol.
from across the room.
That Doom Patrol show was so fucked up. It was.
It was fantastic.
It was
Yeah.
perfect.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because of that, it was a actual Doom Patrol show.
Yes, that's what made it great.
I watched a movie called Shadow, which was a Chinese wuxia movie from, I want to say 2018. Mostly done in black and white. Well, actually, black and white tones, very desaturated, but like the skin tones and blood were color, so you could actually see them, and they
man.
stood out very well. Great movie. Also starring Tony Leung, who you may remember as Wen Wu from Shang-Chi. What was the other thing? Was that it for TV and movies? Oh, my children watched, unfortunately, because I couldn't talk them out of it, Avatar: The Last Airbender, the movie.
The
And they
movie.
could not stop bitching about it, which was delightful.
Listen, everybody has to make this mistake for themselves.
The
And they
picture you
did,
posted
and they
was
were like,
amazing.
they weren't 5 minutes in going, "This is so bad," and we were just like, "We tried to tell you," but they gutted it out and made it all the way through.
They
And they did
did?
a palate cleanser. Did a palate cleanser with the animated series.
There you go.
I was going to say, did they watch the live action series?
They're watching it. Yeah, they're watching it because they were also kind of about that because they love the animated series. They're like, my youngest was like, I'm just gonna talk trash about it the entire time. Then she started watching like, it's good.
It's because it is. It's good.
Because it is.
I think it's so funny that your girls are of the age where they want to hate everything.
I am right there. I am right there. It's just like
Yeah.
I'm enjoying watching this from the outside.
I
Quick
was that
hits.
age when E.T. came out, and
Yeah.
that was the same way.
Quick
What do
hits.
we got,
Birds of
comics?
Prey. This run from DC with Barda and Harley
Big
have
Barda.
the most hilarious interactions together, and you would never think of the two of them in the as getting along, and they do, and you're just like, "Aw, it's so sweet." Coming back to Amanda Waller, the Suicide Squad Dream Team 4-issue miniseries. Waller, when written properly, is a formidable person. When she's just, "I want my way because I'm Amanda Waller," I don't like it so much. And this is riding that line very hard for me.
Is that Bizarro on the squad?
It is Bizarro. You've got Dreamer from Supergirl. She's
Yeah.
crossed into the DCU. Harley, Bizarro. You also have the Clock King.
Clock King!
And a relatively new character, and I can't remember what his code name is, but he's Amanda Waller's nephew, and she pulls his strings just like she pulls everyone else's strings. Doesn't pull any punches. For Lee, have you finished this yet?
No.
Okay, I am not going to tell you anything. Other than
We got some messages from a couple people who picked it up on our recommendations. One of them said that he had somebody give him a dirty look because he got the last copy at his comic shop. And the other guy was headed straight for it, and he grabbed it. And
Yoink.
let me just go. I mean, it's Bizarro versus Superman. It's been a three issue story, and you actually get a Bizarro who is the epitome of the anti-Superman.
Cool.
Everything that Superman is, this Bizarro is the exact opposite.
how
and
long
it's beautiful.
how long has Superman's weakness been magic?
Quite a
Ever
while.
since it's been a long running thing, but they kind of hyped it up a lot after the first Crisis.
Okay,
Well, and,
So
and
back
it
in,
wasn't.
like,
that's
85.
because that's perfect.
At first, it wasn't so much that he had a weakness to magic. It was just that he wasn't as resilient to magic as
But
everything
now it's
else.
full blown.
Yeah.
But the
weakness.
fact,
Right, yeah.
the fact that Cancer Boy John Constantine could take Superman to the curb
Yeah.
is amazing, and I love
fascinating.
that because
Yeah.
my
I like
my
that idea.
youngest hated Superman with a passion because what do you do against Superman? And I was like, handed them the Thundercats versus Superman comic that came out in the early 2000s, and I was like, look, if the Sword of Omens can kick him to the curb,
Yep. Magic.
Wow.
Yep. Ultimate Black Panther #2.
Yay.
There's a lot of political intrigue, and a certain white-haired mutant shows up in this story, and that's really
Oh.
all I'm going to say there.
Is it
Oh,
Storm?
that
You
Oh,
talking
and
about
they're not
Storm?
married, and they don't like each other too much. I'll leave it
that
at
looks
that.
great. That looks
But
great.
the big hit for this week, Sons of Star Trek. And I
Yes.
can't say much because Rebecca.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. If you're a fan of, let's see, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, I take that back. Crews from all over. So I've seen there were characters in here from Lower Decks even in this issue because it's a Q story. So Q is just like, I'm just going to pull people from everywhere, and it's fun.
I like it.
And
This
lastly,
came in
I
the
picked
mail
up
for me.
Spider-Man. Oh wait,
That's the wrong one. I mean, that's.
I got Spider-Man.
There we go. Okay.
Do a flip Spider-Man.
I have not played it yet. I just got everything downloaded, and so after the after party, I may be disappearing in my basement with like some Mountain Dew and some Cheetos. And
Now
Well,
you're
wait,
talking.
won't be seen for hours.
what are you playing first?
You got to play Spider-Man 1 first,
You
though,
have to
right?
play the
I
first one
downloaded.
first.
So I got the
Okay.
Miles Morales edition that comes with. Listen, Rebecca. I got the Miles Morales edition that comes with Spider-Man.
Ultimate Edition. Yep.
Okay.
So I got it so that I will do them in order
Good
because
man.
as you can see, people, I can't play them out of order apparently. So yeah,
So you should take a look at our Discord chat where Rob is like, I got the game, and Tony and I are like, you have to play Spider-Man.
Here's a big
So,
fat
Rob-
list of Sony PlayStation games you need to play too.
I never had the chance to warn you. Don't go against their recommendations or bad things happen. Like I
Becca
played
knows
the
where I
games.
live. I know better.
Oh yeah, no, she knows where I live. I played them out of order, and the next day my tires were slashed.
Coincidence?
This is why we keep them in
Maybe.
the garage.
All right. Let's see. I've been busy as well, Rebecca. I didn't get to consume much this week, but I took some notes of stuff that I did watch. The latest episode of Survivor, I was
Hey.
yelling. I was yelling at the
Harry.
screen.
I don't feel like I've ever heard you talk about how you watch Survivor.
He has. No, he has.
I
Yep.
have, but it's something that
sure.
it's a shame. It's a great shame that I have, but my wife and I watch Survivor when it's on.
Welcome to me and The Bachelor. Yep.
Yeah, and
Weirdos.
Welcome to me in
I
the
was
blacklist.
I was yelling at this episode of Survivor because these two male characters on the same team,
Characters.
well, people,
Might as
They're-
well be.
they were trying to out drama each other. I mean, it was
It's
just
outwit, outlast, outplay, not out drama.
they need to add out drama in there because one was crying all the time saying, I don't have a chance. I'm going to get sent home. The other one was like, I failed. Send me home. Oh, and I'm like, God, you're on the same team. You're losing. All right. Anyway, so there
Exit
was that.
stage left even.
Of course, all the Star Trek that I was catching up on. My nieces were in town last weekend, and we were looking for something for them to watch, and they had seen everything. Going down the Disney Channel. And we've seen that. We've seen that. We've seen that. Do you have some cartoons that we haven't seen? Oh, never ask Uncle Carrie that.
Of course he does.
Allow me to
Max.
pull up the Looney Tunes.
Max Looney Tunes, and this was their first exposure to Looney Tunes because apparently their mother is worried that they're too violent. Well, they are. But they actually loved Foghorn Leghorn. I was so
Say, how could you not?
I say, how could you not love Foghorn Leghorn?
My dad, between Foghorn
Yeah.
Leghorn and Pepe Le Pew, because I remember waking up to my dad watching Looney Tunes
Yeah.
on Saturday morning at like 7:30 and be like, what maniac on his day off gets up to watch cartoons? Well, my dad. So
Yeah, I was just so surprised they loved Foghorn Leghorn.
Have they seen Tom and Jerry? Can you introduce them to Tom and Jerry next?
I probably will.
I
The Chuck
think that it's-
Jones ones.
I think it's
Yeah.
important to play the old classic Looney Tunes because, like, I learned about gun safety from that because I didn't want to actually see my face on the back of my head.
Yeah. Rabbit season.
Yeah.
And then we're binging and we're almost done with, I think it's on Apple. It's a terrible title for a show, by the way. Apples Never Fall is the name
that
of the
Annette
show.
Bening show.
Annette Bening show. It's taking some twists and turns that I didn't expect, and for that I appreciate it. It's a missing person murder mystery show where you're like, this person could have done it. They're doing very good at distracting you with other things, and I haven't been able to guess who has done it yet so far.
I keep getting commercials for that.
Yeah, I did too, and that's kind of why we decided, we'll check it out. We're almost done with it. I'll let you know. Games. Oh, it's on Peacock. Thank you, Jim.
Games are here. They're here to play.
My husband's been slowly converting as many people as he can to Helldivers 2.
Oh, I've heard nothing but good things about that game. I'm gonna have to pick it up.
He keeps
Yeah.
trying to get me to play, and I'm like, I keep telling you that is not my
It's not
style
really your
of
style
game.
again. Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Coming out this week, we have Call of Duty Warzone Mobile on your iOS and Android devices. You can play your Call of Duty Warzones on the mobiles there. It's a new version of that because that has been on there for a while. We got Final Fantasy XIV on the Xbox Series X and Series S. Also, big release this week, Dragon's Dogma 2, if you're interested in
Dragon
that.
dogs.
Nope, not quite,
Oh.
but
That'd
it's
be
a
cool,
big,
though.
big fantasy medieval RPG from Capcom. The first Dragon's Dogma was one of those ones that got quite a good following. But it's old. It came out on like the 360. I think it's close to 10 years old. So we got a sequel now. And then also we got some new Nintendo action, Princess Peach Showtime on the Switch, coming out on the 22nd. So she's getting her own game, and it looks pretty interesting. And last but not least, Horizon Forbidden West Complete Edition is finally out on PC. Was a PlayStation exclusive, and like they do with a lot of their exclusives, a year or two later they release them on PC with some all the DLC and some upgraded graphics and stuff like that. So highly recommend that game. I had an absolute blast playing it on PS5 last year,
Good stuff.
and it's super good. So
All right.
there you go.
Well, thank you all for being here. We're going to head. Oh, yes, Rob.
I have a quick question, a quick housekeeping question. I heard that there's that letters used to be read on the air here. Is that true? I've
It
got a
is
letter
true.
from Jay. If I can throw that out really quick.
Our Jay?
Our Jay posted a letter in our Discord.
Do it.
Do you want to do that here or
All the
on
shop.
the after party?
Let's do
Either way is good with me.
Okay, let's do it here then.
Yeah, let's
What
do it
do we
here.
got?
I wrote y'all a letter. Dear Geek Show, hope y'all are doing well. Just got back from Coruscant. The food was mid. Don't expect those Twi'lek aliens to be so thick, but that's something new for my therapists.
Hey,
I'm headed to Arrakis next to trade some spice, but let me ask y'all this real quick. Dunacy? Is it pronounced like Hennessy, or is it Dunacy? I need to know before I reach customs. Anyway, this spice got me baked, fam. 3 seashells and be well. Jay.
I thought it was Dunacy.
The
Dunacy?
Shai Halassi is what it is.
Oh, okay. Good to hear from Jay. Thank
Yeah.
you. Jay Whitaker, everybody. All right. We'll head to the after party then. It's geekshowgotthiscovered.com. If you're not a Patreon member, that's where we're headed right now. This show continues with, we're going to watch some stuff, and you can watch it with us. And,
We'll be there in about 5 minutes.
All right. Live long and prosper, bitches.
Goodbye.